5. I'm nowcast meteorologist Christopher Collins.
Hello, Raleigh, North Carolina. Welcome in. You have now entered the RDU Live Radio Show right here on Oak 93.5 WRLY, and I am your host, Cam McCarty. I appreciate you for tuning in. If you're listening on the FM dial, reach over, turn us up. Make sure you're buckling up if you're out there on 4540 Glenwood, wherever you might be. Just want to make sure you're staying safe out there. And if you're watching on one of the streams, whether it's Facebook or YouTube, Live 365, wherever you might be, go ahead, put something in the comments. Let us know you're watching. Let us know you're listening. And don't forget to hit that like, share, and subscribe button. They say it helps the algorithm or something like that. And like I like to say on every show, no matter where you are in the triangle or around the world, this is a call-in show. And that means when we're not playing music, the phone lines are wide open. And that phone number is 919-899-9305. That's 919-899-9305. Look, we got a jam-packed show for you today. We actually got some people sitting in the studio with us. We got Deandre and Kum3ra. Am I saying that correctly?
Yes, you are.
Kum3ra. I always want to get people's names right. Deandre and Kum3ra from the Blxck Portrait Collective, right?
Absolutely, yes.
All right. How y'all doing today?
Doing well. How are you?
Spectacular.
Doing pretty good. Traffic, man. Tuesday at 6 o'clock,
Yeah.
5:30, man. Traffic is what it is. So, I'm doing good. I'm here.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Thank
Cool.
you for having us.
Oh, no problem. Yeah, y'all got a lot going on.
We do. We've
Yeah.
been busy, man. We've
Yeah.
been booking it.
I hear you.
Literally.
So we gonna get into everything y'all got going on in just a second. If you've been listening to the show, and even if you haven't, you might know that we always start the show off with something that's real, that's relevant to the triangle, the world at large. And I just wanted to do a couple housekeeping things. A couple people I wanted to shout out. Make sure that we know. It's Tuesday, and you already know what happens on a Tuesday. CJ Baker and the crew, they're over at the Durham Beer Garden. It's the open mic and the jam session. So at 8 o'clock, they have the featured artist. And then at 9 o'clock, they start the open mic night. So bring your rhymes, bring your raps, bring your music, all the above. Get on the open mic. And if you play an instrument, bring your instrument and catch the jam session afterwards. All right. You already know. Durham Beer Garden, downtown Durham, CJ Baker and the crew. It's a Tuesday. You know where that's at. And then it's every other Tuesday. So Adam Lee Decker. Adam Lee Decker is a fan favorite. He sings the national anthem at the Durham Bulls Park and for the Canes. He has an open mic night tonight over at Southline Brewing. Don't forget to check that out. He actually has a couple people that's going to be showcased at the open mic night. And that starts at 7 o'clock. And then Kari Reed, he is another RDU Live native. RDU Live native. He's been on the show a couple times. He's a comedian. He's back on the circuit. He's putting on an open mic night comedy show over at the Bull City Cider Works, the downtown Durham location, and that starts at 8 p.m. And this weekend, special shout out to Travis Bullitt of the Premium Sound Band. He's doing the Mary Jane concert. It's a tribute to Rick James. They'll be at Bailey Park in Winston-Salem on June 15th at 6 p.m. That's Bailey Park in Winston-Salem, June 15th at 6 p.m. All right? And that's going to be the Mary Jane concert. It's a tribute to Rick James. I've been seeing all the visuals. I'm so excited about it. That's one of the ones you don't want to miss. All the musicians that are going to be at CJ Baker's open mic night will actually be on stage at that one. So that's one you don't want to miss. All right? And I got a special one. I got a special one that I have to do today. Have to do a special shout out. Today is June 11th. Today is June 11th, and it is my mother's birthday. It is my mother's birthday, so I have to give a very special shout out to my mother. She's in Birmingham, Alabama. That's where my family lives. And when nobody else is watching this show, when nobody else is listening, my mother is listening, I usually wouldn't do this. I'm going to give out her age. She is 60 years young today. It's a special day. 60 years young of life, living, laughter, and loving me, right? I have sisters, but loving me. I'm the only boy, so it's a special kind of love. So my mom, I know you're watching. You're always watching. Want to say a very special shout out over the airwaves, over the YouTube waves, wherever. Shout out to my mother, Mrs. McCarty. I just want to say I love you, and I hope you're having a happy birthday today. All right. I'm gonna actually do one of these little sound effects or something that they'll work right now. I don't know what's going on. That's for my mother's birthday. Just something for my mother's birthday. All right. Okay. Enough with the antics. We got people sitting in the studio with us. How y'all doing?
Doing well, man. How are you?
Doing good.
That's good.
Good. So
good.
we kind of gave the cliff notes earlier. So Deandre and Kum3ra, right?
Yes.
Deandre, Kum3ra sitting over here. And you guys are with the Blxck Portrait Collective, right?
Yeah,
so
man.
so let's talk about the Blxck Portrait Collective off the top. What is that?
Yeah, so it's a lifestyle brand, man. You know, we're bigger than just music itself. We dip into so many other things other than music. I mean, we pretty much just hit all areas of entertainment.
All areas of entertainment.
Yeah, all
Interesting.
areas of entertainment,
Community,
fashion,
culture.
community. Yeah.
Interesting. So
Absolutely.
where y'all based at? Is that a local thing, or
Yeah.
how's that work?
Right here in Raleigh.
Right here in Raleigh.
Yeah.
Okay. How long y'all been going strong with this?
Well, we're about to reach our year in
Really?
July. So we've been
Y'all been moving fast.
Yeah, we've been moving fast.
Y'all been working.
Yeah.
Y'all been working.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
Absolutely.
you're based in the Triangle area kind of deal.
Based in the Triangle area. One of our CEOs and owners, Tife, he's out in Charlotte.
Okay.
So we are somewhere everywhere, but mainly here in the Triangle. Yeah.
Okay, and you said a lifestyle brand,
Yeah.
doing music and clothing
Yeah.
and just kind of all of it and photos. I've been seeing different
Absolutely.
stuff
Yeah.
coming out.
Absolutely.
I've been seeing different stuff coming out. How many people in the collective per se?
Whew.
Good question.
We got I think there's a total of 20 of us.
So,
Wow.
But it's constantly evolving.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Wow. When we say evolving, what does that mean? How do you become a part of Blxck Portrait? Like it just seems this is so
I'll
cool.
let Deandre answer that.
So cool.
You know, we either approach you. We've had some people approach us. Just anyone
It's a
that
leak.
can.
Hey, you being real vague over there. You know?
Anybody that can just fit into the culture. You know what I'm saying? What we're trying to build, and we just hope everybody like it. But that's pretty much how we get people in. They either approach us or we approach them. But that's pretty much it.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, and I heard we're gonna really talk about it in the show, but I heard y'all might have something coming up where people might be able to come see you guys do it. You see?
Absolutely. We have a show at Lucky Tree Tea House at 7:30 on June 14th. That is this Friday.
It's Friday.
This Friday. And we hope all of you listening and all across social media can come out and support. We got a lot of amazing talent that's going to be there that night.
Yes.
So Blxck Portrait's going to be in the building.
Yeah, it's
You know,
called Blxck Portrait Unplugged.
Unplugged.
Yeah, so it's going to be a lot of acoustic vibes. If you've ever seen Tiny Desk or Soulfar, that's the type of vibes that we're going to go for this show. So,
Interesting.
hope to see
Yes,
everybody
and if
out
you've
there.
never been to the Lucky Tree, it's a super dope spot. They got art everywhere. As soon as you walk in, you can feel the vibes.
Really? So I go to a lot of places around the Triangle, and I haven't been to Lucky Tree.
See?
I know they do like an open mic or
yeah.
something on
Yeah.
Mondays or something like that, right?
Every second and fourth Monday of the month. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Lucky Tree, and that's on Hillsborough, right?
Right
Yep.
in the heart of Raleigh, yeah.
Yeah, it's on Hillsborough Street. Okay, Lucky Tree, Friday.
Yes, this
Friday.
Friday. This Friday.
This
yes.
Friday.
7 p.m.
7 p.m. 7 p.m.
Yes.
Is there like a list of artists or something like that? So it's
Absolutely.
like a show kind of deal.
Absolutely.
It's a show. Blxck Portrait's putting on a show.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so y'all, you got music that y'all produce, and you got artists
Yes.
on the bill and stuff like that.
Yeah, man. I'm actually the head of music at Blxck Portrait. So
Wow,
all the music that everyone will hear from us usually comes through me.
that's a
We
big
do
deal.
Yeah, it is.
It's a big deal.
It's a lot of work too.
Yeah, yeah.
But we have other producers on the team. Shout out to my brother Drayson. Shout out to Cam McCarty. We are pretty much just spearheading this thing together and giving everyone the best quality music possible. Oh, and honorable mention, Adam Mobarak, Mr. Mo. He is our mixing engineer and masterer. So he helps us with the quality of our music. Shout out to Mo.
Okay, so you got a whole team.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Whole team.
Absolutely. Whole team.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we're talking about the team. I want to talk about you too.
All right.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So we know you're the head of music.
Yes.
All right, Kum3ra, what part do you play in this? You're a singer, you're a writer. Where you at? Where you at?
Yeah, so I'm an artist, but then I'm also part of the media. So I help out when it comes with, photography, editing, videos, that kind of thing. So, and just pretty much anything that's going into the creative side. So, whether that's like, well, actually, we got some dope stuff coming.
Uh-oh. Oh, okay. You being slight. Slight work. It's
Yeah,
okay.
you gotta tap in. You gotta tap in.
We got some stuff coming out.
Yeah.
You know?
We got a whole bunch of stuff coming out. Just stay tuned. Blxck Portrait's really about to pop off. You
Okay.
about to see what we can do and what we about for sure.
So you're really deep in the music stuff.
yeah.
You're deep in the media and videography and in editing. How do y'all, from a collective standpoint, right? I know you're on two pieces of the part or of the whole, but how do you guys come together and work together? Like, how is that collaboration with different areas? Because you're doing a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
How do y'all like put all that together and create a joint front kind of thing? How does that work?
Okay, I'm gonna answer that question with an analogy.
Okay.
So, how your body works, right? Okay, you have all the different cells that have all their different functions, and they come together to form the whole. So essentially, it takes, it takes dedication, it takes organization. Communication is definitely an important piece of it. So, just making sure that all the parts are operating together to form the whole.
Makes sense. Y'all are really running the business. I mean, that's really what it is.
It is.
And that's what I want you to accentuate.
It is, and it's for the people. At the end of the day, we want to
do it for the people. I have this term. I'm a man of the people. If I have to say so myself, I'm a man of the people. But I get it. It's like you come together to, as you guys said earlier, build culture and build something for the people. And I really commend what you guys are doing. Hence why, I really wanted you guys to come on the show. And I was talking to a couple other, Blxck Portrait Collective, I don't know, the collective members about, you're starting a podcast and doing all kind of visuals and stuff like that. That's really dope. That's really dope.
That's all coming. That's all coming. Shout out to Justin and Jordan.
Justin and Jordan. Yeah.
Raleigh is so underrated. There is so much talent here that is just not tapped into, that is just not exposed. And so that's, the goal is to create an environment where, people can tune in and tap in, right?
Yeah.
So question. So that's kind of where I was going to go next, actually, is ask you, why do you think that is? Why do you think that there's so much underground here? Because I'm finding that, like, peeling back the onion. That's hence why we have this platform here. Is why do you think that is?
Are you saying specifically why there is in Raleigh?
Or in general, however you want to answer the question.
So, personally, I feel like there's kind of a sense of like, oh, this person, I know this person. Okay, let's say
gatekeeping? Is that the word we want to use?
Let's say I throw a kickback or something, right?
Uh-huh.
And the person, whoever's DJing, right? 9 times out of 10, they're trying to play songs that everybody knows, right?
True.
And so if they play like one of their friends' song and nobody knows who their friend is, then it's like, it's almost like a scary thing to do because you don't know if they don't like it, right? But if you play something that's already popping, that
the people
are gonna vibe with it, right?
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely. I feel like the reason why there's so much underground here is because I feel like us as North Carolinians and Raleigharians, I guess. We gotta push more.
Yeah,
we gotta push more. We gotta become the hub, one of the music hubs. Like in Atlanta or L.A. or Tennessee, even Nashville. We just gotta push more. We just gotta get out of our shell a little bit.
I feel you.
People know what North Carolina's working with because, like she said, there's a lot of talent here.
Really?
Like a lot of talent here.
I feel you on that, and like kind of sitting in this seat and kind of seeing different people move about, and just like we have like the Genius Party. I don't know.
Absolutely.
A collective of producers.
One of our producers. Sorry to cut you off. One of our producers, Drayson, he performed at the last Genius party. Shout out to the Genius Party.
I think they have a show coming up on June 29th. June 29th. Fact check me on that. But like that concept of different collectives like Blxck Portrait, really pushing the envelope, and we have a lot of music venues in this area. We have a lot of music venues and a lot of musicians and artists of all genres and sorts. And it's like, how do we start forging these things together to really move the needle for the area? North Carolina as a whole, and then the Triangle and Raleigh, Durham, all that good stuff. And I really just commend people like yourselves for thinking, one, of yourself, but then also of the bigger picture.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
So speaking of thinking of yourself, speaking of that, I know you're head of music and you're head of videography and that kind of thing, but everybody wears multiple hats. So it sounds like you guys have done something in the recent past or recent now.
Yeah,
right?
We have.
And what might that be for the people? What might that be?
We just put out a song called Intentional, guys.
Yes.
Last Friday. It's almost a week old.
Yeah.
And we actually sat on this song for almost a year.
We sat on it for way too long.
Wow.
Yeah.
I blame Deandre though.
I mean, he's the head of music, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You can blame me. I'll take it. You can blame me.
I mean,
you can
like,
blame me.
Yeah. Because realistically, when we came together, it was on the premise of like, okay, we're gonna create, and so he showed me this beat, and I was vibing with it, and we did a little bit of brainstorming, and it was all like done in one sitting.
Yeah.
But then, it took some time to, get the sound
Right.
where we wanted it to be, and just the full execution of it. But it's finally out, so
Yeah.
It definitely took some time, but we were like a match made in heaven that day when we went into the studio to write that. Like, it took us maybe like 30 minutes max.
Right.
Wow.
To get the whole song
Wow.
together.
Yeah.
I will take credit and ownership because I did hold up the process for it coming out. I redid my vocals several times. And I wanted to keep adding things, but sometimes just a tip for other producers out there. Sometimes less is more. So I had to learn that throughout this process. Less is more. It's not always needed for more,
We're gonna dig into that in just a second.
Okay.
I want to come back to this process of how this song came about and that concept that you just talked about right there. Well, before we get too deep into it, I actually want to let the people hear it.
Yeah.
All right.
That'd be dope.
All right. So what we're about to do is we're about to run this track. Just came out on last Friday.
Yes,
Right.
Last
On all
Friday.
platforms.
On all platforms. All right. This is Intentional by Deandre and Kum3ra.
Yeah.
flowers with this ring. I touch your soul when I sing. I touch your soul with this. Cause you the only one that have my heart. I knew right from the very start. And every time that we're apart, I get called back to you. I love living life with you. It's intentional. The man above put me in your path, and I don't wanna ever go back. So perfect about you, and baby, you deserve it. You deserve it. You deserve it. I wanna be intentional. I want you to know that I want you. So I wanna be intentional. I want you to know that I want you. So
Oh yeah, that was Intentional by Deandre and Kum3ra. That was a trap you bob to. You bob to.
Yeah.
I like that. I had that on. So just giving the people, I had it before you guys heard it. But, I had that on in the truck, and I was like, it was like, I think it was a Friday night, and had the windows down. It was like riding through downtown Durham.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Just my shoulder was moving just a little bit. You know what I'm talking about? And you ride, it's like, intentional. No. I'm off key, but that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. We're gonna let Kum3ra do that. That's we're gonna let Kum3ra do that one.
Absolutely.
But now that's a track. That's a track. So hey, if you're just tuning in and you came in during that track, that was Intentional by Deandre and Kum3ra. We're here right here on Oak 93.5 WRLY. It's the RDU Live Show. I'm the host, Cam McCarty. And we're just here having a conversation. Once again, this is a call-in show. That means when we're not playing music, the phone lines are wide open. If you want to have a chat with some, local celebrities sitting over there, you can call in. This is your time. You can't always talk to them, but this is the time to do it. And that phone number is 919-899-9305. That's 919-899-9305. So before we were playing that track, we were having a little conversation about how the track came about, right? And you started kind of dropping some tidbits and little nuggets for some other producers out there. So I just want to dig into like how you guys collaborated on. You said it only took like 30 minutes to make that track. So how does that work? Like you just go into a studio and just write. Like, how did y'all make this?
Okay, so he played the beat, right? I listened to it, and pretty much, the question that we started out with is, okay, what is this song? What is this beat saying? What is the feeling? What is the emotion behind this beat? And we did some brainstorming, coming up with like concepts, and we kind of came to the agreement of like, this is definitely a love song. It's definitely something where we want to emphasize like the intentionality of love, right? So, and of course, that's how it came about, to be intentional, right? So once we had, that concept, then we both kind of let it play. He wrote his part, I wrote my part at the same time, and then we put it together.
Yeah.
And y'all, so you said that took like 30 minutes. So you write verses and choruses pretty quick, huh?
Yeah, but I mean, not like, I would say for the most part, but like that day,
it just was flowing.
It was meant to happen. You know what I mean? Like,
it
was one of those.
You catch lightning in a bottle sometime.
Right.
Interesting. And so do you guys make music with like other people? Of course. Okay. So like, absolutely. How do you go about, like, do you know, like when you hear the song, okay, this is about to be lightning, or do you just kind of start and it just organically, oh man, 30 minutes later, oh man, we did something, you know?
Sometimes. For me, it's sometimes when we start something, like we got some upcoming music coming out. One of the co-owners and partners in Blxck Portrait, Shamel,
Okay.
he is also an artist too, and he's coming out with music, and we're working on his EP currently. And
Super fire.
yeah, super fire. And some of the songs that we're working on, soon as we started working on it, we're like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
We own
Yeah.
something. We
Yeah.
own something. So sometimes it happens instantaneously where you're like, yeah, we're onto something. But sometimes it takes longer. It does
Yeah,
take longer,
yeah.
depending on how the chemistry is with the person you're working with, and also the song itself. So yeah,
Okay. In that ratio, just out of your opinions,
yeah.
what's more important, the beat, the track, or the chemistry between the two?
Chemistry between the people or the music?
Between the people. It's a hard question.
That's a very hard
Yeah.
question.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah.
It's.
See, I think the chemistry between the people.
Yeah.
I would have to agree with that because sometimes you could take the most simplest
Yeah.
thing,
Yeah.
and then you have the right people together, and it just turns into magic.
It turns into
Oh, yeah.
magic, and people can hear it and feel it, and that's
Yeah.
my opinion. That's
Yeah,
my opinion
absolutely.
on music in general. If you've never listened to the show, one of the running things I say almost every episode is music should make you feel something. It
Yes,
should
absolutely.
evoke some type of emotion, whether that's good, bad, indifferent, whatever the case is. It should make you feel something, and I think the right kind of chemistry that comes across. That comes across on whatever the music genre, track, whatever it is. And I love when I have, the opportunity to speak to two people
Yeah.
who have, put together a track that is as fire as it is.
Appreciate it.
And how did you, make that chemistry, and how do you feel about that bubbly feeling that you get when you go, oh man.
I
did
get
it.
so excited. Like, I be cheesing, geeked, laughing. Like, I get so excited. That's probably like one of my favorite parts of it, when you just made a track that is
Yeah.
fire,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I just can't stop smiling.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Absolutely.
Do you like being in the studio producing the record or performing the record, or both?
Ooh.
Both.
I would say me producing it.
I
like being.
That's
in
why
the
you get ahead of
studio
music.
Right.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
I like being in the studio producing it. I don't have a problem performing it, but I just feel like everything you want to come out emotionally, everything comes out in the studio.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
okay.
So
Okay,
I
that's
would
an interesting
definitely-
take.
Yeah.
That's an interesting
Okay.
take. I've heard different. I've heard some people
So,
say different. Okay,
Yeah.
what you got? What you
I
got?
was gonna say, like, that's yes to that, but for me, a lot of times when I'm writing, it's because I need to let that emotion out. So
Yeah.
that process in and of itself is that, and then you go to the studio and you kind of like tap into that feeling, right? So
see-
that's my answer.
Okay, so I'm a little different. I love being in the studio, like recording voiceovers and stuff like that. But like being in front of people
Yeah.
is where I get my my just doing it live.
Yeah.
Like that record button. I was watching a podcast the other day, Raj and Shay or something like that. And somebody was talking about that record button is like intimidating because it's like when you do something live, it's one take,
Yep.
over.
Right.
Yep.
Right? You make it if you're playing an instrument or something, you mess up on a key or something like that, done. It's over.
History.
Yeah.
But when you're recording, you mess up on the key. All right, re-rack it, retrack, and if you're recording vocals or whatever, when you record, it's gotta be
That's the
right.
That's the fun part, though,
Oh, see, I don't-
because you can reach the closest to perfection, that way.
He's a perfectionist. So of course he's gonna say that.
You can reach the closest to perfection that way. So that's the
That's
beauty of it.
that's a good take though.
Yeah,
That's a good
yeah.
take. You can reach the closest to perfection. Okay. All right. So you were talking about less is more. Now we're talking about
Yeah.
perfection and reaching close to perfection, but
Yeah.
less is more. What's the balance? What are we talking about here?
So, with this track specifically, it went through a couple of phases, honestly, because I pretty much had just the basics of the beat. Me and my brother Drayson, we worked together and we just had like the basics of the beat, which is what me and Kum3ra wrote to. And then I took it to another friend of mine named Sterling Jones. Shout out to Sterling. And we worked on it together, added like some keys, added some bass parts, added little ear candies here and there. And after we listened back to the song, we was like, this is too much. It's taken away from the vocals. It's taken away from the vibe of the song. Like if I were to play you the other version of the song, you'd be like, this is a totally different song.
Interesting.
Yeah, it gave a different feel and everything. And then after that, I took it to Mo, and me and Mo started working on it. And that's, I heard, I want to say, was it Cherish the Day or No Ordinary Love by Sade on the way to Mo. And after that, I was like, when you listen to Sade's music, it's not a lot going on there.
It's not a lot.
But the emotion and the story is there, and that's what really captivates the people. So when me and Mo got it, we were like, okay, let's actually strip this down some, leave certain parts in there for ear candy, but let's actually strip this back. And then you got the version you hear today. So
that's so cool.
Yeah.
That's a great principle just in life, honestly.
Absolutely.
In life, honestly.
Absolutely.
Sometimes less is more. You know, sometimes you strip it back. Hey, I'm doing too much. That's where that phrase comes from, right?
Right.
Doing too much. I get it. Hey, you mentioned a term there, ear candy.
Yeah.
What is that? Explain that to the people.
So ear candy is the little things in music that you hear that probably won't be the main part of the melody or the main part of the chord, but it's what captivates the
you hear it but
listener.
don't hear it. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It's there. It just adds on to the magic of the song.
Yeah.
So, that's what the ear candy is.
So I always like to, when we talk about music and stuff, I like to let the non-musical listeners know what we're talking about.
Absolutely.
So we're talking about ear candy. Ear candy. You hear it, but you might never know you're listening.
Yeah, you might never know you're listening.
You might never know.
That might be some of y'all's favorite parts.
Yeah.
You never know.
You just don't know. Yeah, you don't. Like, it's those. I don't know why I like that song. It's like it's that ear candy.
Yeah, absolutely.
That ear candy.
Absolutely.
So you kind of mentioning a couple things there when you're talking about taking music and you had a producer listen to it, then you had Sterling and then you had Mo, and kind of for both of you in different aspects, maybe for video, photography, for music.
Yeah.
How do you, once again, through the Blxck Portrait Collective, but even outside of that, how do you, one, find people to collaborate with, choose people to collaborate with, and how do you know when, all right, man, I need to take this to Mo, I need to take this to somebody else, and how do you work with that?
That's a great question because I feel like it can be very subjective. But I think that, everybody has their different niche roles of what they're good at. Like I work with a lot of different producers, right? So if I'm looking for a particular type of track, I might hit up shout out to Trevor, Big Photo to Don. I might hit up him for I want something like dreamy, something that, that will make you feel like you're floating, because I know that he is like, that's a strong
that's
point
what he specializes in, yeah.
You know what I mean? If I want something that's going to be like more bass, more upbeat, trap, then I might hit somebody else up. So it's just a matter of kind of like, what are you looking for, and who has, the talent and the ability to help you with your vision, right?
Interesting.
So,
what about you?
I would say the same. Whatever or whoever fits on whatever's being worked on. Even like when I'm producing just tracks, like I have a whole bunch of just unused tracks that I have on my hard drive for anyone who ever wants it. But it's like I want to make sure the right person gets it. Sometimes you can pair up a track with the wrong person, wrong singer, wrong rapper, or artist, And you're like,
So it's that
not really
relationship.
working.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah, you
relationship
know what
with the
I'm
person
saying?
in track. Okay.
Yeah, so it's a lot of trial and error. A lot of just like, let's see if this works. If it don't work, it's
Yeah.
okay. And I have something for you because now I know what to
What
listen
to-
for.
Right.
Right. But I don't think this one is it, you know. So it's
That's
just
a
a
little
lot
honest.
of
That's honesty too.
yeah, yeah. It's
That's
just
honesty.
it's just a lot of trial and error. So like choosing who to work on intentional on the production side was, I mean, it was a collaborative thing. Especially after I just said all the people that
Yeah,
you know, worked on it.
yeah.
But just getting that right sound, everybody just put in what we needed, and the vision was the most important thing.
Interesting. That makes sense. That makes
Yeah.
sense. And so I'm really big on collaboration and networking and all that kind of stuff. So you're talking about the different people. So we talked about how to get involved in Black Portrait. More to come on that. More to come on that.
Absolutely.
So how, even within Black Portrait and outside, once again, how did you guys find each other? Like, how do you go about networking and collaborating? Like, how?
You gotta go outside.
Yeah.
You got to get outside.
You gotta go outside.
Cause I actually met Deandre at the Lucky Tree.
Yeah, at Lucky Tree.
At the Lucky Tree.
Yeah.
Lucky Tree is an amazing spot to go to, especially if you're trying to like find a home with fellow artists and creatives. But yeah, like you really just gotta go outside. Staying in the house is not gonna take you as far as face-to-face interactions, you know what I mean? Because maybe you follow somebody on Instagram, maybe you might message them, but until they've met you, until they've really experienced your energy in person, then it's kind of like it's not going to be the same. It's just not going to be the same.
Yeah.
I agree. You just gotta really. Well, I'm an extrovert.
Okay.
I do have introvert tendencies, but
Okay.
I am an extrovert at heart.
I think they call them ambiverts. I think I'm like an ambivert. I think that's the word. Maybe I'm making it up.
Like I
Fact check
love
me.
being
Ambivert.
around people, but sometimes I need my alone time.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
But I think just going out there, like Kum3ra said, being in the house, you're not gonna find nobody in the house. You gotta actually go out there, meet people, talk to people, see what they're about.
How do you find where to go? How do you find it?
Through either friends, ads on Instagram.
That's where social media can be helpful.
That's where it can be helpful. Yeah.
Absolutely. Sometimes you may want to use Google and just search up like open mics in Raleigh or wherever.
Yeah. I use this mic to do a lot of things, but that's one, collaboration, networking, and then that funnels into almost every episode I talk about going to an open mic. That's why if you listen to the top of the show, I always shout out open mic nights.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I think it's so important. When we're talking about the local music scene, how we were, really start the show off, we're talking about, why things are underground or whatever, really getting out. If you're a musician or even if you just like the art, so whatever, you have collectives where you might not have to be a musician to be a part of the scene, right? But you got to get out there, go to those open mics, go to the Lucky Trees of the world, and you can meet people like Blxck Portrait Collective, and you can become a part of something and collaborate. You might meet Kum3ra and you're a videographer, but now you have a tentacle into all these producers that Deandre knows, right? Yeah. And that's kind of the concept of it, especially when you're trying to grow as an individual, but we're all trying to grow the whole scene.
Yes,
right,
absolutely.
Right. And you never know who you're going to meet.
You never know.
You just never know.
You never know.
I've gone outside. I've been to like open mic night in Charlotte before, and then it's like, oh, I met this person. They like my sound. They're a producer. I connect with them. Oh, this is a well-known person.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I would have never known that had I not gone outside.
I'm so big on that. I'm literally saying every show. You never know who's going to be. I'm telling you, the places I shout out, you never know who's going to be there. You might want to get there. And in that concept of never knowing, it's like, you got to get outside.
Oh, yeah.
You got to get outside. and if you're not doing anything on a Friday night, I think it's this Friday, right?
This Friday night.
All right, this Friday at 7:30?
Yes, 7:30.
7:30?
Yes.
Is it 7:30? 7:30?
Yes, it's 7:30. I mean, you can come at 7.
I say get there.
7:30.
If it were me, I'd get there early.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Get there at 7, everybody.
Good seat,
Get you a good seat at the Lucky Tree. Get you a
Yes.
good seat at the Lucky Tree.
Come on through.
What other events have you guys done before?
Oh man, we've done an event called We Fell in Love. We've had an event called Bar for Bar, Life
Interesting.
of the Party, A Leap Back in Time.
And this is
That
all
was-
within a year?
Yeah, yeah, man. Yeah.
Wow.
All within a year. All within
Wow.
a year.
How did y'all kind of form? Just in like within a year to form and then move. They call it mobilizing,
Right,
right? Whatever
yes.
whatever they call it.
So I mean, we started super small. I mean, we're at 20 plus people right now on the collective, but we started super small. It was only 4 members at one time. It was
Okay.
me, T-Fay, the other founding members, Drayson and Caden, and we pretty much just had this vision, and we spent hours sometimes on calls just planning things out. And what we need, who we need, and all these different things. And then we just started going out and getting what we need. And now we're here 20 people plus later and a year later. So here we are. Yeah. It all starts with a plan. A plan first.
Had to give you a little bit on that. Had to give you a little
It
bit
all
on that.
starts with a plan.
Had to give you a little bit on that. You know, I always want to accentuate certain things, and
Yeah.
you can hear me accentuating them. But you know, excellence and doing things, planning
Yeah.
and growing a team, doing things. I'm using quotation marks or the quotation fingers if you're listening on the radio the right way, and that's to be commended. That's to be commended. To be young, to be black, and to be making moves in the area and putting out fire tracks like intentional.
Oh, yeah.
You know, to be doing all of that and having 4 or 5 events under your
Yes.
belt, that's nothing to sneeze at. That's a big deal.
Yeah, we've been working, man. We've been working. And also, just to shout out real quick, we do have other Black Portrait music out, ladies and gentlemen.
What you got?
Shamel has a song out called Mindfields.
That's my jam.
It is out everywhere. Same, you can find it anywhere, literally. And then one of my best friend, Niara, who lives in Texas, actually, she has a song called Ecstasy that is out everywhere as well, that I
Okay.
produced and helped co-write. So, yeah.
So say those again. You got Mindfield
Mindfields by Shamel.
by Shamel. How do you spell that? Can you spell that for us?
Shamel.
Shamel.
Yeah. And then
Shamel.
Ecstasy by Niara.
How do you spell Niara?
Niara.
Niara.
Yep.
Niara. Okay, Shamel. The artists are Shamel and Niara.
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 Yeah.
Niara.
Mhm.
Niara. I was thinking about Kum3ra.
Yeah.
Right? You got Kum3ra, all right? Niara.
Yeah.
All right. And these are all Black Portrait
All
kind of
black-
artists.
Yeah, all Black Portrait artists. Yeah,
Black Portrait artists.
absolutely. Yeah.
All right, y'all putting out music.
Yeah, we got more coming too. We got more coming later on. Maybe I can spill some tea on the other stuff. But
We need
yeah.
to spell. We need to spell Deandre. That's all.
Oh yeah. I got it. I got it wrong on the flyer. If you were looking on the Instagram flyer, I put Deandre with an O.
Yeah.
With an O. DEO. That was on that's on the monthly flyer, but I corrected it for the
Yes.
flyer for today.
Amen.
Yes, sir.
Corrected it for the flyer for
God
today. DEA
In
NDRE.
yeah.
DEA NDRE.
Absolutely.
Stay in school, kids. Stay in school, kids. Deandre with an A. Deandre
Yeah.
with an A.
Yeah.
And no, I moving so fast that is all on me. I'll take that one on the chin live on the radio. I'll take that one live on the radio. But no, so you got music coming,
Yeah.
you got events coming.
Yeah.
What else you guys got going on with Black Portrait or individually, just in general?
We got a few things coming. I can say this. We do got some food coming.
So food. Okay, so tell me, you say food. Black Portrait does food.
Yeah, man.
What does that mean?
We
What does that mean?
are. Yeah. we are planning right now. Well, it's set up. We just haven't launched it yet, but we do have food coming. Kind of like a vendor. We have some good friends of ours who are licensed chefs that are working with us, and we will be displaying some food later on this year. So keep on.
So if I'm hearing correctly, Blxck Portrait Collective. I'm saying the name over and over again so that the algorithm catches it.
Right.
Blxck Portrait Collective. We're talking music.
Yeah.
We're talking events and curating events.
Fashion. Food.
So fashion means clothes and all that goes into that.
Yep.
Right. And then we're talking food now.
Yeah.
We're talking
absolutely.
food. Okay.
Podcast.
And podcast.
Yeah.
And podcast.
Yeah.
So you got multiple pillars
Yes.
kind of in the organization.
Multiple pillars, baby steps.
Yeah.
Right. So this is all in the process of becoming the vision.
Becoming the vision.
So,
Yeah.
I can appreciate that.
yeah.
Absolutely.
I can definitely, and I think most people, whether they say it or not, can appreciate people who are doing something. And like you just said, planning. You're planning it out, and you got things that you're working on and time frames and all that kind of stuff. But just the concept of having a vision, that's one.
Yeah.
Having a vision, and then actively making motion, whether it's big motion or small motion, doesn't matter. It's actively making motion on it. And as a buzzword, galvanizing the troops, to do, getting people together to do it.
Right.
So that, once again, I appreciate everything you guys are doing.
Absolutely.
Everything you guys are doing. So we're getting to the bottom of this thing. Hey, we got like 5 more minutes on the air. If you want to call in and talk to Deandre with an A and Kum3ra.
Kum3ra with the 3.
With the 3. Kum3ra with the 3.
Instead of an E, Kum3ra, K3.
See, that's why I had to ask. So before we got on the show, I'm going to let people know, before we got on the show, I said, hey, my name is Cameron. And she said, I'm Kum3ra. And I was so relieved because I was going to say Kum3ra. And I was like, nah, nobody's going to say
but
that.
Kum3ra, you know what I mean? He calls me Kum3ra.
Shout out
and
to my
you can
shout
find
out to my brother Josh.
Yeah, my ex handle is Kum3ra, so
yeah,
I just let it happen because it helps people remember that it's a 3 and not an E. I've had people like show me that they were trying to look me up and they put Kum3ra.
Kum3ra. Yeah.
But,
Speaking of which, we getting to the bottom of this thing. If you want to call in, that phone number is 919-899-9305. So we're getting to the bottom of this thing. Your social media handles, all of the above. Let's talk about that. Where can people find you all? And I'll let you go.
Okay, so for me, I kept it real nice and simple. Everything is Kum3ra. You can find me on platforms at Kum3ra, Instagram Kum3ra, and that's KUM3, the number RA, KUM3RA.
Perfect.
Yeah, I didn't keep it as simple, but you can find me on Facebook at Deandre Thorpe, DeandreThorpe. You can find me on Instagram at Real Deandre Thorpe. The reason why that happened is because I got hacked. But anyways, I had to start over. But Real Deandre Thorpe on Instagram, and pretty much Deandre Thorpe on anything else. Even when you look for my music, Deandre Thorpe is what you would type in.
Deandre Thorpe. We're talking DEA.
Yes,
DEANDRETHORPE. There we go. Deandre Thorpe. Real Deandre Thorpe.
Yeah.
Deandre Thorpe.
Yeah.
If you get Deandre Thorpe, you can
pretty
kind
much got it.
You can kind of get in there. And Kum3ra, Kum3ra, KUM3.
Kum3ra.
RA, Kum3ra. And then we have Blxck Portrait Collective, right?
Yes,
What's
you
that?
can find Blxck Portrait at BLXCK Portrait, not BLACK, but BLXCK Portrait on all social media.
BLX. Is there any reason for the X instead of an A?
When we were originally making Blxck Portrait, the X stood for pretty much anybody. It was kind of like one of those symbols where anyone can fit in. We're
Invariable.
not. Yeah, it's invariable that just stands for anybody. So
That's actually really cool.
yeah.
That's actually really
X equals.
Yeah, inside of BLCK, but you got the X in the middle.
Yeah.
That's clever.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's clever.
Absolutely appreciate
I'm
it.
sitting with some clever. I'm sitting with some clever people. They're teaching me the English language over here. You know, we got 3s in the middle of names, X's in the middle of names. I'm forgetting the A and the O. It's happening today. It's happening today. Look, I really appreciate you guys for stopping in and having this conversation with us and telling people about who you are and Blxck Portrait Collective, you guys individually, and just putting up with my antics. I appreciate you.
Appreciate you for having me.
Yeah. Anything you want to leave the people with and last words?
You want to go first?
Nah, you can go first.
Okay, sure. So Blxck Portrait Collective, we got a show coming out. Coming June 14th, this Friday, 7:30. But be there at 7 at Lucky Tree Coffee Shop. Ladies and gentlemen, we have so many good artists coming to you. As far as music from Blxck Portrait, we are steady, fast at work. Shamel is coming out with an EP soon. I'm coming out with an EP myself. It's different for me. It's dance and house music. I've never done that before. So, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's called Side Missions Volume 1. That will be to y'all really soon, hopefully before the end of the year. So just keep a close eye out on that. K3ra, Saturday, Queen Asada, Caden, we all got music coming to you. Kum3ra got another single coming to you.
Yes, I do.
So,
for me, I would say last words. Make sure you tap in to tap in.
Yeah.
So tap in with Blxck Portrait to tap in to the community.
Absolutely.
Tap in to Blxck Portrait to the community. And that's BLxck Portrait Collective. I thank you guys for coming on here. Kum3ra and Deandre for just sitting in and talking to the people and having this conversation. Look, we're getting down to the nitty-gritty of this thing. We had Kum3ra and Deandre here sitting in with us today, having a conversation about what they got going on in the Blxck Portrait Collective. Like you said, they have an event coming up on Friday. What is that? June 14th?
June 14th.
June 14th at Lucky Tree. That's in Raleigh off of Hillsborough Street at 7 o'clock. Well, it's 7:30. We get there at 7. Get you a seat because, you know, it might fill up. You never know. You never know. And just to go back to a couple other topics we talked about, if you've been listening to the show, if you listen to the show today, you know how important open mic nights are. So go find you one somewhere. I know of 2 tonight. CJ Baker's open mic night at the Durham Beer Garden in downtown Durham. Adam Lee Decker's over at Southline. Go ahead.
There's one that I know about tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Yonder at House of Art tonight at 9 o'clock.
House of Art. I have not been.
So dope. Yeah.
House of Art. Shout out to the House of Art. I see everything that they're doing. I just haven't made my way. I live in Durham, and I'm lazy. I haven't made
Don't be lazy like him.
You know, don't be lazy like me. Don't be lazy like me. You got to get out there. You got to get outside. You got to get outside. But yeah, shout out to the House of Art and all that they're doing, all the events that they put on, and just being a part of the culture and the scene here in the Triangle, in Raleigh, but also in the Triangle in general. But yeah, just the concept. Go find you an open mic night. Go find you some other people to maybe mingle with, hang out with, and let's really keep pushing this envelope, pushing this community, pushing the culture, as they say. I feel young now. I'm pushing the culture. I'm tapped in with the culture. You feel me? But yeah, let's keep this thing going. Just a couple housekeeping things. Right, I got a couple more minutes. Couple housekeeping things. At the end of the month, June 25th, we have a local artist playlist show. So if you're a local artist. If you are a local artist, get your music in. Go to the Instagram page, the RDU Live Show on Instagram, and get your music in. Follow the steps, like the post, and all that stuff. Send us your music. It is free of charge. But we only got 10 slots. All right? Camus Leonardo will be hosting that show. I hosted the one last month. He will be hosting the show this month. He's going to have a couple guests in the studio with him, just talking about the music as it's playing and doing all that good stuff. But June 25th, you got to get your songs in by June 23rd. All right? June 23rd. All right. So that's that. And in July 9th, big news there. July 9th will be the first episode of Tyra Lynn Tunes In. Tyra Lynn, we're bringing on another host to the RDU Live Show. So I'm your host, Cam McCarty. We also have Camus Leonardo. We are bringing in our third host, Tyra Lynn. She will have her own segment, and July 9th will be her first show. So be on the lookout. We're going to be putting some stuff out and doing photo shoot and all that kind of stuff. So be on the lookout for that. And just stay tuned to everything we got going on. Look, we appreciate you for tuning in and being a part of the RDU Live Show once again. This is the RDU Live Show on Oak 93.5 WRLY. And I've been your host, Cameron McCarty. And like I like to say, let's go live.